Hey y'all. Said I was gonna get some new equipment. Got some donations from some damn good friends. This is the Straight Up Wrestling Podcast, episode 0.01. Yeah. First up was audio. Second is a little video for y'all in a new place, so I'm covering up things so you can't see, you know, the new duds or the clutter. Whatever it is that day, you won't be able to see it. I'll have a backdrop eventually. Trying to decide whether or not I'm going to have an audio and a video for this. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and start the audio as well. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Straight Up Wrestling Podcast 0.01. Yeah. All right, so we're going to be covering Friday Night SmackDown in a quickie real quick. Before I do that, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what my plans are with the podcast right now. As of right now, the plan for the podcast are simple recaps of NXT, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw. I'm going to try to get the videos posted Saturday morning before 10 a.m. For Friday Night SmackDown. For Monday Night Raw, I'm going to try to get the video posted on Tuesday morning before 10 a.m. You know, for everybody that works, for everybody that has jobs. As far as NXT, I'm going to dive into NXT and make little notes on NXT on both Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw's podcasts. So it's going to be 2 podcasts a week on WWE. I'm going to dive into NXT pretty soon. I'm cheap right now, so I haven't been paying for cable. You know, I got Hulu, I got the WWE network, but just too frugal for cable. But I'm gonna get there, and when I get there, AEW. Okay, so SmackDown started off pretty good. Started off with Miz TV. Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho. They start introducing Otis. Otis interrupts them. Of course, that's what Otis does. Hold on 1 second. Gonna pull up my frame by frame here. Bear with me for being ill prepared for my episode 0.01. It's not my first podcast, but it is somewhere. It is the second podcast. All right. There we go. So Otis interrupts them, and with his introduction, with his own introduction. He breaks the chair when he tries to sit down in the Miz TV studio. I don't know why they keep making jokes about how fat Otis is. He's not really that heavy. I think I weigh more than Otis. And I wouldn't break the bottom rung of a goddamn ladder. I wouldn't break a studio chair. It's messed up. He's wearing a crop top and a heavy machinery jacket. That's real nice. I just like how put together Otis is. I mean, they try to make him like the working man. They do a good job of it, but my question is, you know, when's the last time you seen a working man like Otis? But, you know, whatever. So Miz asks Otis what's in the case. Otis says some Rolaids and some Gas X. Whatever, made me laugh. And Miz was like, and Otis was like, and a bratwurst in case I get hungry later. Real good. So he also goes on to say the biggest win of his career was not just Money in the Bank. It was winning his peach Mandy Rose. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Otis. That was the biggest win of your career so far. And when she breaks up with you, it'll be the biggest travesty of your career. So Morrison, he goes a little TVMA with his promo style. He's gonna ask Otis, uh, "How did you do that? How did you get Mandy Rose? You must be packing some serious meat in the briefcase." Hey, hey, ho, ho. Everybody had a laugh about that. And Morrison asked him if he was pregnant because it's 2020 and anything's possible. Anything's possible. The Miz says, "Well, the responsible thing to do would be to relinquish the briefcase. Would be to relinquish the briefcase like Becky. If you're pregnant." And they both look at him like, "Hmm." Yeah, man, I miss Miz TV. Miz TV used to come on. It used to be almost an every week thing. Now it's an every in a blue moon thing. Otis goes, "No, no, no, no. He's not gonna relinquish it, and he's not pregnant." So they start showing pictures of Otis and his mom when they were, when Otis was growing up, and then a picture of Otis when he, just in knee pads, just almost naked in knee pads and either a diaper or underwear. I forget what I saw. I'm trying to forget what I saw. I'm glad I forgot what I saw. Let's move on from that. Got a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm chewing gum. As you can see, I'm not smoking. I'm trying to keep my apartment, my new place, smelling good. You know, last episode 0.0. Yeah, I was token up, but we're not gonna do that this time. So I'm gonna rate. No, no. Before I rate it, let me finish. The Miz gets mad at Otis, and he's like, "Oh my God, you! How did you get Mr. Money in the Bank? You don't deserve it. Look how you're acting with it. You carrying bratwurst in it. You get yourself a tag team partner, and you fight me and Miz. You fight me and Morrison tonight." And I'm like, okay, very entertaining, very entertaining. So I said that I was only gonna rate pay-per-view matches and solo backstage interviews. Well, not anymore. I'm gonna rate in-ring promos as well, and backstage promos. I'm sorry, not backstage interviews, backstage promos. As long as it's something that's hyping up a match and it shows the personality of the character, I'm gonna rate it. And this was actually a pretty good opening segment for SmackDown, so I'm gonna rate it an 8.6. 8.6. All right, moving on. We get to Elias versus Baron Corbin. Now, you guys remember, if you remember in the last episode, it was a couple weeks back when I made that episode. It was about a month, but a month ago is actually when the story started between Elias and Baron Corbin. Elias is just up there singing about Corbin. He's calling him trash, calling him toilet. And King Corbin does what King Corbin does, walked up behind him, bust him in his face, threw him over the balcony with a sickening thud that was way too theatrical. Almost a little bit overdone, but we riding with him because we ain't got no audience. Way too much post-production. So, Baron Corbin been getting back at him for the last month about that. Fast forward to Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin's about to get the briefcase from AJ Styles, but then walks Elias, busts him over the back with a guitar, and that's how Otis ends up getting the briefcase, because once he busts Baron Corbin in the back with the guitar, AJ Styles fumbles the briefcase. He fumbles the briefcase, and Otis is right there. Bow, wide receiver. Yeah. All right. So this is actually a pretty good big man match. I think Baron Corbin was extra physical, and he was just nasty with it. I mean, he was doing the thing. He was tearing Elias up. Really, really good big man match. Like they were so athletic with each other, bouncing around. I mean, usually when you got two guys that size, it's not that entertaining. They don't have too much technical wrestling. They don't. They don't work the crowd. There's no crowd to work, but I was the crowd, and I was entertained sitting here in my seat watching from home, just watching them wrestle. And it's not often that I watch, two guys that are above 6 feet tall, above 220 pounds, wrestling like that, and it's very entertaining. These two guys, in my opinion, are WWE champion material. But that's just my opinion. I'm just a guy on his second podcast that's numbered at 0.01, even though there's a 2, there should be a 2 somewhere in there. I'm eccentric like that, but that's what I think. I'm not one of the writers. So, like I keep saying, it was a really, really good big man match. Elias gets mad and he comes with a comeback after Baron is beating that ass for a couple minutes. Elias very athletic for his Adonis type build. Like the way he rolls really, really quick, gets to the top rope really, really quick. If you were creating a character on 2K, but the way he gets to the top rope is the way you would want your character to get to the top rope. Either a quick climb or a bounce, like bow. All right. Yeah, sometimes I will be using my action figures to show you what I saw or what I want to see in a match. I haven't bought many action figures yet, but I got a couple. And I'm showing them off because I can do that. Grown-ass man out. Yeah, so Corbin ends up breaking Elias's guitar on the side of the ring just out of being pissed off about losing Money in the Bank. Yeah, boo-hoo. You already won it and lost it. And then in the ensuing ruckus, Elias rolls up Corbin for the 1-2-3, advances to the Intercontinental second round bracket. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, from what I hear, Sami Zayn has been stripped of his title. Why? Because Sami Zayn doesn't want to catch the coronavirus, and he's that kind of annoying guy. He's gonna make excuses like that. I mean, honestly, in his situation, I might actually do the same thing. Like, you know what? I don't want to catch nothing. I'm gonna stay home. I got like 1.1 million in the bank. I'm gonna just take a guess at what Sami Zayn has. I have no idea. I'm gonna sit back and spend some time with my family in Canada. The clean part of the world where the coronavirus isn't killing everybody. So there's a tournament to name the new Intercontinental Champion. This was evidently round 1. So round 1 goes to Elias, not Baron Corbin. Let's see what Baron Corbin does. Oh yeah, he just destroys Elias after the match, of course. He's not going to destroy Elias. Sorry. He's not going to do anything. He's going to move on, and he's probably going to end up in the WWE Universal title picture. That's what we all don't want. But that's what we're all going to get. You know it. I know it. So, next up is a backstage promo style thingamabob that I'm not really going to rate. Otis is going to ask Sheamus if he wants to be on his tag team to face Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. He's going to say, not a chance, fella. I don't know how I feel about him still using fella. Yeah, we know you're Irish. We know you're from Ireland. Yeah, or Scotland. Ireland, Scotland. Which one is he from? I think he's from Ireland. I think he's Irish. That's what I'm gonna take a guess at. I don't know how I feel about him still saying fella. It's not 2014, 15, 13. We're in 2020, man. Get it together. You look great, though. You look great. Great. One of the best wrestlers on the show. It's just whoever's writing for you is getting lazy. And I get that. But anyway, he says, not a chance, fella. So, then there's another backstage little / interview. I'm not going to rate these little cut scenes. Mandy Rose is going to ask Otis, how's Mr. Money in the Bank? And he's like, it's not going too well. She says, how about you ask Braun? I mean, he is the Universal Champion. He says, thanks, my beautiful peach. Gives her a little peck on the cheek. Oh, cute. You know what? Otis gives me hope. Hope that I don't have to exercise and become a sexual Adonis just to get a Mandy Rose. So the hacker has made an appearance, sitting in his chair, like I'm sitting in mine. He swings around. He says, you want to know who I am? Yeah, we want to know who you are. I've been noticing the little static stuff on SmackDown for a while. I was making notes of it. You know, I was making notes of it, when I was planning on doing the podcast, but I ended up moving. I would have talked about it, but let's move on. No one else noticed it when I was making notes of it. I just want to, bring that up. I was listening to all types of wrestling podcasts. No one brought up the static. No one. I don't know whether they were trying to kayfabe it, but they didn't bring it up. But I was like, okay, no one's gonna bring this up. Okay. So Otis goes to ask Braun, but before he asks Braun, he says, "Congratulations on being the Universal Champion." Braun says, "Congratulations on being Mr. Money in the Bank." They have a nice little moment in the back. All right, let's not even talk about how they may end up facing each other in the future, but then they get into it. Hey, you want to be my tag partner? Braun's like, are you asking me because you need me to be your tag partner? Or are you asking me so if I'm beat up out there, you can cash in on my Universal title? Hey, hey, ho, ho. And he's like, no, no, it's not like that. And then he says he'll think about it. He'll think about it. He says don't trust him, but he'll think about it. That's cool. So, moving on. We're going to try to make this a little quick podcast because I am doing it late and I'm trying to get it out. Post editing is going to take a while. I'm trying to get it out before people wake up for after Monday Night Raw because I'm going to try my best to get a Monday Night Raw podcast out before Tuesday morning. Yeah, I'm going to try my damn best. So, but this is episode 0.01. This is more like this is still trial. This is still trial and error right now. Once I start naming it podcast episode 1, 2, 3, then that's when I feel like I have a hold on what I'm doing and I'm doing it at proper times. Right now, this isn't just for fun. This is something that I'm trying to do seriously, but at the same time, trial and error has to be had. So episode 0.01. So my girl Naomi is going to go against Dana Brooke. Again, let's get that rematch on because we don't like how we lost for the Money in the Bank qualifying match. We do not like that at all. Dana, you don't just do that to my woman, my muse. You don't just beat her. That's not how we roll. So Naomi looking sexy and the poofs coming down to the ring. Dancing down to the ring. We always like to see Naomi dance. I like Dana too. She's bouncy but yet fit. I don't know how to describe it. She got muscle, but when she walk, everything jiggle. Nice jiggle. Like to see her walk too. Naomi and Dana can just walk all damn day. Anyway, the announcers talk about Dana's in-ring improvement. I'm not really seeing it unless she was like really dangerous in the ring and I just didn't notice and she was hurting people and no one caught it. But at the same time, I always thought she was a good wrestler. I don't think that she's changed much, but Dana outmaneuvers Naomi pretty quickly and rolls her up for the win. Took me by surprise. Took me really by surprise. I thought they were at least going to have a back and forth just a little bit. And plus that's my woman. That's my girl, Naomi. You're my girl, Naomi. You're my girl. Like, how you just going to let Dana beat you? But I guess, everybody in Florida, y'all just chilling. No excuses. You don't let Dana beat you like that. No excuses. I'm going to move on because I don't want to talk about it anymore. So, Charlotte Flair is going to come to the ring, NXT Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair is going to come to the ring in NXT Women's Champion to, talk about her and how badass she is because she is that badass. Bayley and Sasha are going to come in and interrupt. Tell her the last time I saw you was when you were losing to me for the title. Classic comeback trick. You needed a haircut to beat me and you cheated the entire time, which was true. And Bayley starts bragging about being Grand Slam champion, and Charlotte asks the question that we've all been asking for a long time. Sasha, Are you comfortable being in Bailey's shadow? You know, you used to be, she used to be in your shadow. You know, you used to be the one running things. You're Hall of Fame bound. I don't necessarily agree. I honestly think Bailey is more Hall of Fame bound than Sasha, but that's just me. Just a guy on his zero point zero 0.01 podcast. So they end the segment there. I'm not going to rate it because it was short and kind of not needed for this Friday night SmackDown. I mean, if there was going to be a confrontation, I believe it should have been a straight up fisticuff conversation. This little catty back and forth. You just, in my opinion, you're not serving the women. You're not serving the women justice by having them going catty, snide remark back and forth with with no fisticuff at all. I mean, it's 2-on-1. Charlotte is the best female wrestler, and you got two bulldog wrestlers in Sasha Banks and Bailey. I felt like somebody should have trashed somebody in this ring. I feel like you're pretending like they're not hardcore. They are hardcore. I mean, y'all don't do that in NXT. Y'all, you go to NXT, Rhea Ripley, straight up rip somebody in the middle of the ring just for saying something stupid. But no, Charlotte got to be too classy. No, Bailey too classy. No, Sasha too classy. I guess they wearing. I guess the leopard print outfit that Sasha's wearing, she can't rip it up. I guess the little pink skirt that that Charlotte is wearing, or the little pink shorts that Charlotte is wearing, they ride up too high for her to kick somebody in the face. I mean, I guess it would take too long to take the pumps off to big boot somebody, Charlotte. And Bailey, you already dressed to fight. You have no damn excuses. But the next segment, Braun has been asked if he's gonna tag with Otis, by, I think it was Charlie Caruso. And he's up there, he's doing his lifting thing. And he said, I'm thinking about it. This is how I think. And we have a Forgotten Sons promo. Okay, here's one of the promos that I'm going to rate. The Forgotten Sons promo is them talking about how they are in the army, and when they came home, we failed to welcome them. They're complaining, saying that us as fans failed to welcome them home with open arms. Okay, that's pretty much the whole. That was pretty much the whole promo. They look cool, they sound cool, but the promo was rated 4.6. So, Miz and Morrison promo backstage. They're asked about Braun potentially teaming with Otis against them. They basically, in so many words, said Braun isn't even smart enough to think for himself, or he's just not smart enough. It was a lot that they said, but they were very entertaining with it, much more entertaining than the Forgotten Sons. So I rate that promo as 6.1. 6.1 because they're funny. Hey, hey, ho, ho. So, now we got a matchup. Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulick. Heard some things about Drew Gulick getting released, and I'm like, okay, so you get released the day after you lose your qualifying match for Money in the Bank. That makes no sense unless they only kept you to second Daniel Bryan and they feel like that storyline is done. But that's fucked up if that's the truth. Definitely fucked up. All right. But anyway, so Daniel Bryan wins by submission. It was a really good technical match. I mean, you're gonna get a good technical match with Drew Gulick and Daniel Bryan. Plain and simple. There was a lot of roll-up attempts. There was a lot of submission attempts. There was chain wrestling. Okay. But let's move on from that. When we have more information in the Straight Up Wrestling podcast about Drew Gulick's release, we will talk about it. So, the post-match interview, Daniel Bryan is basically saying the tournament is about who's the best wrestler, the Intercontinental Champion, and the best wrestler is me. And he gives a handshake to Drew Gulick after a well-fought match. Nice. And then they let us know that next week the next first round Intercontinental Tournament match will be between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. The next first round match will be between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, because they've already been butting heads. If you listen to episode 0.0, you'll know that Sheamus isn't too happy about Jeff Hardy being promoted. Yeah. So AJ and Shinsuke, they have a past. You know, they used to fight for the WWE title. A lot of nut shots, a lot of ball shots. You know, go to the WWE Network and check that out. It was actually very entertaining, their little segment, that back and forth. That's how Shinsuke ended up being a bad guy. That's how we lost the great Shinsuke music, and now we got the fucked up version. It's a little hip hop. It goes a little faster, but we want to go oh when we have our signs and stuff. Y'all like my signs? That's the backdrop for right now. You know, love it. Drew McIntyre made this way before he was champion, not a bandwagon. Got pictures if you want to see it. Day one ish all day. All right. So, next up is a match between no. A promo with Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler. Sonya Deville goes in on Mandy Rose, you know, pretty much saying the same thing that she said before. You're nothing. You didn't help the team. I'm a better wrestler than you. Always has been a better wrestler than you. You know. And Dolph, she calls her a bitch. You know, that's, you know, it's kind of old. You called her a bitch last time, but anyway, Dolph just stands back and he says nothing, looking menacing. I mean, you lost your girl, Dolph. You don't have nothing to say. I understand that you can't have like a relationship with Sonya Deville on screen, you know, because it's that point, because of that, you know, it's obvious why. But you have to give us something. So your promo that you were a part of, had Sonya been in the promo by herself, it would have been rated higher. But you being in the promo, not saying anything, you made the promo get rated a 5.9. No, you know what? Sorry, a 4.1. We're gonna do a 4.1. That's what we're gonna do. Sorry, Dolph. I mean, you weren't here to show the world tonight. Sorry. So, here's the final event. The main event, tag match, Miz and Morrison versus Otis and who? Otis and who? We know who. Braun. Come on now. Braun's going to walk in last minute. Not really last minute, but right when you think the match is going to start without anybody and Otis is going to be by himself, you know, we're going to get some sympathy on Otis, as if he doesn't already have sympathy. Anyway, so the best part about this match was the double caterpillar that Otis and Braun did, or the caterpillar that Otis did and Braun tried to do. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity right now to show you exactly what happened. Oh. So, Otis does his caterpillar perfectly. Here we go. And he's going up and down, and he's smooth with it. Smooth with it. Here's Braun, though. Braun basically just hops up and down on the ring to his caterpillar. All right. It was hilarious. I loved it. I hope all of you loved it. There you go, Chris. Yeah. Oh no, Chris, don't fall. Anyway. So, Braun is really stiff with his caterpillar. I rewound it several times. I was having a giggle fit. I'm sure my neighbors thought something was wrong with me. So, Odison win after the power slam. Strowman catches, I think it was Morrison in a power slam. Morrison really athletic. Basically, I thought he was about to wrap all the way around Braun before that power slam. But the best part about this match was not the best part about the match was the caterpillar, but the best part about this segment was Mandy Rose coming down to the ring and distracting Braun with her sexiness, and Otis pretty much looking like he was about to pounce on Braun to cash in the money in the bank. Braun turns around. Otis is like, "Oh, I'm just kidding, buddy." Really, really good, really entertaining. SmackDown was a really good show this week. I'm really, really sorry I couldn't dive a little bit more into it because honestly, without a crowd, there's not much to talk about. I didn't realize not having a crowd was going to shorten up the podcast. I feel like having a crowd would have had them speak more, have more being fed, or maybe not having a crowd is so boring that we have to go directly to the wrestling. But at the same time, the show was good. The show was good. If I had to rate the show, I would rate the show a 7.9. It was very entertaining. It was something that I wanted to see. If I didn't know a new episode was coming out next week, I would probably watch a rerun of this episode. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for subscribing to the Fabled Voice YouTube channel for Voice the Fable. Thank you for listening to the Straight Up Wrestling Podcast. I really appreciate it. We will have longer podcasts in the future. Episode 0.02 should be out Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning for Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I hope it's a good one. Y'all have a good time. I had a good time with y'all. The Straight Up Wrestling Podcast. I just like saying it straight up and down. Straight Up Wrestling Podcast. I got my own podcast. Whoa! Yeah. Thank you guys.